Okay, I just wanted to make this video just as a kind of a final sample of what you need to do to be ready for report cards. First of all, you're not going to be able to print report cards. That's going to be done in the main office. Um, we're going to be doing some more formatting. It'll probably go right up to Thursday. I've been having some issues with Power School, but we're going to work it all out. As long as you get your stuff in, we'll get your stuff out. So just to make sure you're ready, though, I want to make sure as you go through your grade book that you know exactly where information is coming from and what it needs to look like. So I've looked at this teacher. This is looks like Miss Brown over at Amos 2. She's got a lot of information in here for her grade book. Good job, Miss Brown. And I'm just going to kind of go through this to kind of show you guys to make kind of her final check. First of all, I'm in her assignments. This is all the assignments that are listed. Make sure, again, I keep saying this because people are having some problems with this. Make sure you're in quarter one. Obviously, we're into quarter two once when we get back to school. But you're in quarter one in terms of what we're doing right now. Sometimes it says year one, which includes everything in the year. Other times we want to make sure it's just on quarter one. So we're looking at our assignments tab. By now, you guys know what all this is. You got your standards, all that's connected. So for the final grade, oh, I know. In this final grade part, someone asked me about getting rid of these numbers. They really don't mean anything, especially in elementary. They calculate every assignment and every subject. There is a way to get rid of them. If you go up to, I'm using the Mac, so if you go to preferences, I think on the PC it's under tools. But if you go to preferences and you go to grading, where it says final grade and attendance column display, if you just uncheck the letter grade, it'll take off this first column. If you take off the percent, it'll take off this column, and then the points earned, it'll take off this column. Now, since I'm in administrator mode, it's not going to save in Ms. Brown's book, but that's exactly what you would do with that. If you hit OK, it would do that, and you'll be good to go. It will take those things away. Now, in her final grades, when you click on the final grades tab, it's going to show all the standards that are listed. So if you look, here are her social emotional growth ones. It's all in alphabetical order. So as you look at this, you're going to see alphabetical order. Make sure you have a grade for everybody for all these student information ones. The art one, you'll be getting that from your art teacher. They'll give you those grades to put in. That's another video that shows that. But here's completes homework, cooperates with others. So just make sure that each one has a 4, 3, 2, or 1 in this column. This is their final grade for those standards. When you look at the reading, understand that this reading literature is the only thing that's going to show up on a report card. Just the domain reading literature. All these standards that fall under it aren't on the report card but get calculated up to this grade. Same thing with this over here. Reading informational text. Again, it gets all pulled up to this right here. So as you go through your grade book, just make sure you have grades for all the domain names that are going to show up on the report card. So here's a reading foundational skills. If you look at this top bar, this shows you that all of these things fit underneath foundational skills. Anytime you see a gear with the arrow, you're going to see that it calculates up. Writing, so blah, blah, blah. It goes all the way across. You'll see all of her standards. If you get to one, okay, there's some more social emotional. Here's the social studies. Again, social studies and science are just one grade for the quarter. It's a combination of whatever subjects that you made, whatever assignments you had. When you get to math, let me see. I think there's one of hers. Okay, so for this quarter, for operations and algebraic thinking, there were no assignments. There were no grades. There are two things. Clearly, if you leave it blank, it's going to be blank on the report card. Just make sure everyone knows how to do a quick fill. If you're at this point where you just don't have it, you haven't put in enough assignments, you haven't put in everything, and you want to give them a grade for this standard, you can do a quick fill. You can say that everybody's going to start off with a 2 maybe, whatever, and you can just change it around however you want. If quick fill just puts everybody the same grade, then you can go in there and make this person a 2, make this person a 1, whatever their real grade is supposed to be. But it gives you a chance to kind of save a little bit of time by doing it that way. That quick fill. Again, it's not going to save while I'm in her grade book, but that's just how you would do a quick fill. You don't have to populate all the different ones, but for the grade, for the report card, you need to have these columns filled out of the main domains. And that's about it for that. For comments, just to show you, once you have your comments in, you'll see this little C. So she has her comments in for each student. I double click, I can see the comments right there. It's all good. They're all different comments. Okay, and it looks like that in the comment bank or whatever. One thing I will say, and I'll make sure when you do this, If you're using the comment bank, don't use line breaks, use spaces. If you look at this right here, this is all going to be a list, but we want to make it a paragraph format. So we'd want to actually delete this over here to make it more of a paragraph form. So just for future reference, I'm actually just not going to go back and change all those right now. Alright, so that is pretty much all we need to know to make sure we have our comments. We know we've checked scores. I'll show you how to fill scores. Everything is going to be in there. If you look at the student view, I'm not going to say the scores because it's not going to change. If you look at the student view just to see each individual child, to see what their score is. So for instance, here's the child, here's the score down here, here's the everything up here. So you would see what this child's report card looks like by looking at the bottom. Shows how many times assessed, blah, blah, blah. So that was just a quick one. Make sure you're straight for your report cards to be printed. Make sure you have all the grades. Whatever's in here is going to show up on the report card. If it's blank, it's going to be blank on the report card. Signing out. That was the end of that one.